that what I'm going to go over, a number of it has been done in, or Shanalisa has done in the past. This is just all summarized up into one training, okay? So let me go ahead and share my screen. Share. All right. I got my microphone on. I got the record on, and I pray that everyone can hear me okay. From what I saw in the chat, they could. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I pray that you get something out of this. I made this about, oh Lord, how long has it been? I'm going to go big screen. I made this about roughly 4 years ago. 4 years ago. That's how old it is. But what you will find out is that a lot of what you're going to be going over or seeing here, that nothing changes in marketing or building a business. There's some basic steps that we all go through, and that's what I want to focus on right now. So welcome to 10 Steps to Massive Success. What I want to talk to you about right now is, I should say, ask you a question, is how big do you want to build your business? Now, I can only speak for myself. My objective, when I looked at this business that we're in, okay, which of course is the Miracle System, is after I sat down and did the math, did the numbers, I said, you know what? I'm gonna give myself 12 months, and if I follow the system and do the duplication with everyone that comes on board, and then do some basic marketing, I believe that 12 months, meaning September of 2020, that I would be at 100K a month, okay? And that's not with recruiting a lot of people. The key is, the key is the duplication. That's where it comes in at. No network marketing business was meant for you to actually build more than a base of 25. And what do I mean by that? Okay, you find what you call your circle of 5, and then each of them find a circle of 5, and your business will continue to build out from there. And those 5 will be the people that you brainstorm with, okay, share ideas with, and as they're building their team, you'll find out that what you're doing with that process is that you're building the business away from you. Okay, you're not going to be the center of the business. The system will be the center of the business. And I pray that makes sense to you. Okay, so let's move on to step 1. Step 1, and this is very important. In any business that you build, one of the biggest things that you have to know is, number 1, you have to know your why. Why are you doing the business? Okay, now I can share with you right now. I don't know your reason for being on board, but God has blessed me with 5 grandkids, 2 great grandkids, and a lovely wife of over 51 years. So that's why I'm doing my why. Okay, it's my family. So you have to know your why. Okay, now you know something else about that why, and this I've discovered is that your why can be expanded. Example, I've noticed there's a project that I want to work on, and it won't happen until September of next year, because first you got to build the money to do it. But from what I'm finding out, in network marketing, we are in a situation where if we do it right, build our business in our community, and actually spread the word on the benefits of network marketing, we can help our family, our neighborhood, our community, and our city. Okay? The reason why is because, as you and I know, a lot of people are brainwashed into believing that the only thing they can have is a job. Well, guess what? That's not true. And you and I know that. Okay, but they have to be educated to this knowledge that you and I have been given. And the only way they can do that is to get it from us. So, number one. And then, of course, it says here that you have to develop SMART goals. S-M-A-R-T. Now, of course, S stands for specific. Something that's sensible, and of course, significant. a lot of people, when they build their goals, I'm not going to say they dream too big, okay? But they get too complicated in their goals. This is what I mean by specific. If it's the fact that you want, that you know that you want to build a house in 12 months, or you want to buy a new car, or you've got 4 years to work on your putting together money to send one of your kids to college, then that's what I call a specific goal right there. Number two, of course, is that you have to make it measurable. Measurable means meaningful and motivating. In other words, example, let's say we're what, a little less than 2 months out for Christmas, or yeah, I should say, well, let's say Christmas is in 2 months. That's probably the better way to put it. All right. So therefore, you might say, when you talk about a measurable, meaningful goal, that you want to throw a big affair for your family for Christmas, and it's going to cost X amount of dollars. Well, guess what? You can measure that. That's something that you can measure. I see somebody type something in the chat. So let me just see what that is real quick. I'm not missing anything. Okay. Hey, she's here. That's what she wanted to tell me. Welcome, Tanya, to the meeting. Okay, attainable. You have to set goals that you know you can do. You know, we've talked in the past about knowing our numbers. Okay, so let me give an example. I'll meet someone, and in our initial conversation, you know, you ask a person, well, how many hours do you think you can devote to your business a week? Or you might ask them, how much money would you like to make in your first month? And then they'll say $10,000. Well, this is possible, but is it attainable? Okay, because number one, as you and I know, there's some information in the back that you need to learn in the back office. So you've got to go through training. And once you go through training, then you've got to implement what you've trained. So is that really an attainable goal? No, not really. It's a dream goal is what it is. Now, are some people doing that? Yes, you and I know that they're doing that and more. But then you have to look at the background. A number of people came into this business with a list or a following that helps you to grow faster. Okay, so you can't judge what you're going to do by what somebody else is going to do. Realistic, reasonable, realistic, resource, results based. That kind of goes with attainable. The $10,000 is attainable that we talked about. But then again, I guess you can twist it around again, and then you say, well, is it really realistic? And as I just explained to you, it's not really. Okay, so our goals, I say, they have to be kind of sensible. Now, this one is very important right here. Timestamp. Okay, now what goes along with that timestamp is, believe it or not, your affirmations, you can build it into your timestamp. You know, because therefore in your affirmations, you're saying that you accomplished something on a certain date. I've got a couple. One is Thanksgiving. Okay, one I had to move back to February of next year. But a time stamp, I don't care if it's a long-term goal. Of course, you know, you work your way backwards. But they say a goal should be yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. That's the way that your goals should be set up. Okay, and of course, again, that's all falls under your why. Now, let's move on. Step two, your list. Okay, now this is something, when you say the word list, a number of people will run for the hills. Okay, but here's the problem. Every successful network marketer will tell you that you have to build a list. Okay, and now I'm gonna tell you this. I was spoiled when I first came online, and I broke that rule. Okay, why? Because Facebook was so open. There were so many things that you could do that I never really bothered to build a list. I would just always look for new people, not understanding the relationship factor. Okay, so one of the most important parts of your business is that you have to build a list. It is definitely misunderstood and misused. Without a list, you will not be, you know what, let me change that. You would not be as successful as you would like to be. Okay, but see, once you've established a list and they've actually gotten something from you, any type of product, that means that they're satisfied with, that means that in the future, when other things come along, you will always be able to go back to your list. Do you not think that Dominique did not have a list to make in 90 days $100,000? I mean, $200,000, almost 189. Of course she had a list. You know, I can tell by the way that things that she's saying, how she writes and does her videos and whatnot. Of course she has a list, okay? What's it say here? Within a 72-hour, a list of 200 names. Now, I'm gonna give you a break there. Okay, let me tell you about a list because I think this is very important. Number one, a lot of people don't believe this. And I think I got down the bottom, so I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but I think it's important. You have in your friendship circle somewhere between 500 and 600 friends and acquaintances. Listen to what I'm saying. Friends and acquaintances, okay? And a lot of people, when you ask them about making a list, they panic, they freeze. Well, let me share this with you. If a person wants to join any company and they want to get out of or I should say, get into the green fast, in other words, get into profit very fast, what you want to do is that you want to take and open up your telephone book, right? Your Facebook, your Instagram, and you want to make you a list of at least contacts, because they're acquaintances, if they're connected to you, that you can invite to your business launch. Okay? And normally we say you should be able to have a business launch within 72 hours. This is the way I've always been taught. Okay? And it's not hard because in our case here, we do webinars every night. You just have to pick a date, right? And you send out invitations to your launch and you know somebody's going to be there when they start showing up. Okay? We'll talk about that more in details. What else did I miss? Memory jogger. Why does it say use a memory jogger? Okay. When we talk about our circle of influence, I'm going to tell you some people that you don't think about. The person that does your hair, that does your nail, the guy that cuts your hair or your beard, that shapes it up. These are acquaintances. Beauticians. Last company I was in, the beautician, she was the top earner in the business. She's a retired beautician of over 20 years. She makes $5 million a year in network marketing. I'm sorry, $5 million a year in network marketing. She's the top earner in her company. Okay? That's a lot of money. But think of this. When you go to a barber shop or a beauty shop, hairdresser, so you want to call it nail studio, what do you have in there? You have people sitting around talking. Okay, so how hard is it for you to be able to give out a business card, to start a conversation with somebody? Well, you see what I'm saying? And your barber should, if you give him your money or the person does your nail, that should be a person that should be courteous enough at least to attend your business launch also. Think about that. Okay, what have I not covered? If you haven't done your list, you haven't started working your business. Okay. There's something that changes when you write a list psychologically. If you talk to 5 to 10, you get a no, it's a scam, doesn't work. Oh yeah, okay, I'm kind of running ahead of myself. But these are reasons that you have a list. With a list of 200 people, 5 or 10 people, that's less than 5% of your people. So what they normally say, if you show a video 10 times, we're talking about your numbers again, right? If you show a video 10 times, out of those 10 people, one person should have interest. Now, whether they join today, a month from now, or 2 months from now, you've got their interest. All right, it's a matter of getting that person close. All right, what else am I at? There's anything else I need to go over on here real quick? No, I think I hit kind of the highlights of that. This one, number 3, this is important. It talks about, of course, setting goals. What is your ultimate goal? Money, time, vacation, family time. A lot of people will get into business and it's just money orientated. If it's just money orientated, it will not last. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If it's just money orientated, it will not last. You have to have some type of passion for your business. Instead of profit expectation money versus a year. I'm kind of going ahead on some of my highlights. Some of this I've already covered, because if you notice some of the things, they go within each other. If you make 60K a year now, let's say a realistic goal to replace or double that income first. You know, one thing about this business, which is very important, our business is your plan B until you make enough income to replace your job. I think we all understand that, okay? So that sentence right there makes a lot of sense. I don't care. It says 60. I don't care if you make 50. It doesn't make a difference what you make. If you make 100K, you should not walk away from your main business until this business has built up enough money to replace it. That definitely should be a way out there goal. You need to believe that you can achieve. This is a mental thing here. This is one spot where a lot of us, we lose. Okay. Now I know we've gone over training on your mind, the 12 to 60,000 negative thoughts that go through your head. But then of course, that's why personal development is there. So I won't lay on that one very long. When you set up an unrealistic goal from the beginning, you are setting someone up for failure. Let people have a chance for success. This is a long-term business. Now that last one down there, and believe it or not, I've even had conversation with Dominic about this, because I told her, I said, this is my last business. Okay. And there's some things that I saw in the business that now they are slowly correcting, because I told her I didn't want to put in my time if I didn't believe that this company was going to be there for the long term. And from what I've heard that, you know, that's being developed and what I'm seeing so far, we will see some changes in the next few months that will show you that this business is here for a longevity. This is not here just for right now. Remember, it's only 1 year old. Okay. Now, how long is it going to last? I can't tell you. All right. What I do love is that the owners of the business are young and they are motivated to build this business slowly and solidly. So that makes me feel very good about being in our company. All right. This is a heavy one here. Step 4. This one I think makes or breaks most people in network marketing. Commitment. It says if you're going to set a big goal, you need to make commitments. If you want to make $1 million a year, then yes, it's achievable. Okay, that's my goal. Actually, a little bit more than that, because I said 100K a month. Then you have to make a commitment. You know, my commitment is to be here next year at this time, and boy, you tell we're live. And the year after, I plan on pulling back. So that means I've got 2 years to build this to where I want it, and then it should be running on its own. So yes, I'm in for the long haul. Okay. When people ask, do I need to go to meetings, get on calls, get on every training? The answer is yes. Yes, definitely. Okay. Here's what I found out about trainings. On trainings, you're always going to pick up some nuggets and attend more than one. You know, Dominic does training, her husband does training, Shanalisa does training, you're in a training today. I always pick up something over the years from every training I've attended. And I've been in the direct marketing business for about 40 years. Okay. And it's always changing, and it's always good to pick up something new. Okay. It says people will duplicate the bad before they duplicate the good. So this means that when you train someone, you definitely want to train them the right way first, and you train them multiple times. Training doesn't just happen one time. That's important. All right. Did I just skip one? Nope, I just moved to the one. Step 5. And we kind of talked about this. I won't land on too long. It says set weekly goals. We work this business by setting short-term weekly goals. This is the secret to success. Yes, you still get long-term goals, but your short-term goals, remember I said yearly, monthly, weekly, daily, will get you to the bigger goals, okay? I like this. How do you eat an elephant? Of course, we know one bite at a time. Long-term goals are good, but if you try to eat the whole elephant at once, you only get hit it, and you don't hit it the right way, meaning basically you cannot eat an elephant all at once, number one, okay? Boy, I wrote this stuff 4 years ago. Geometric progression or compounded interest. We build on little victories. This will extend your and your team's expiration dates. When a penny doubles a day, 20 is like $20. So after 20 months, you're only making $20. You might quit. But on a month, 31, you make 1 million plus a month. I think everybody's seen that puzzle before somewhere online or something like that. I just threw it in there to give people ideas on compounding, right? Build and push for the goal all week. And here's something that I learned. In fact, I just started this. I just started to set in my mind mentally that I want to reach my weekly goals by Friday. In other words, I will hump as hard as possible Monday through Friday, and then you'll see me slowing down on the weekend. I might do some Facebook Lives, but I'm not going to do much posting, okay? This is just me, because I believe that if you work very hard and you reach your goals, you should reward yourself. Now, on the other hand, if I don't reach my goal by Friday, then guess what? I'll do some work on Saturday. I just don't do the work on Sunday. Right, that's just my thing. Everybody has to set their own. We're all independent business owners, okay? So keep that in mind. Build and push for the goal of the week. If you can get a whole team working with their head down, working towards their goals, you will see an explosion in your business. Do you know what that sentence comes back to? It just means this. And this is where another place that people fail in network marketing. Once you've seen the light and you can see that you can reach your goals financially with this business, our job is to go out to find people who want to build their own business to reach their own financial goals. And then what we have to do, we have to take the eye off of us and helping them achieve their goals, and then our goals will automatically be achieved. Okay? That's a big one. I know you've heard it before. I just wanted to bring it up again. 6th step. This is the one where, as a sponsor, I think you need to understand this one. In fact, I did a Wake Up with Jay training on this one, right? Plug into the system. And as sponsors, this is the first thing that we need to do to help anybody get successful. When they come on board, what you need to do is make sure they're plugged into calls, webinars, weekly meetings, weekly trainings. When we start having conventions or the company gets big enough, sometimes you have, another company I was in, we call them Super Saturdays. We might example the people on the lower East Coast, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Florida. They might meet in Atlanta. They call it that area's Super Saturday. In Texas, it might be a different one. California might have another one. But it gives, as an area, a chance for people to come together from different towns and whatnot. And it's a training where a lot of times the home office will show up and they'll put out something special, okay? What do we have here? If you don't, your team won't. Miss one, they miss two. Very basically what they're saying is that you have to be the lead. Your team is only going to do what you do. If your team sees you posting once a day, guess what? They're going to post once a day. If they see you posting 3 times a day and doing one live Facebook, they're going to do the same thing. Okay? So you are the guiding light for your team's success. It has to come from you. Okay, so the other one says, and I wrote in big print, be honest, if you don't plug into the weekly meeting, you will not create income. Okay? Now you see why you hear Shauna Lisa expressing to everybody that can be on Millionaire Morning and definitely on the nightly one, that's for sure. I think I got to the end. No, number 7. Okay. This comes under personal development. Basically, this is what it's saying here. It says you need to read a book. I'm starting a new one. Well, I read it before and I didn't finish it, so I'm going back to read a new one this week. Feed your mind, motivate yourself. If you are self-motivated, motivate yourself to read a book. Every morning, if I don't read, I'm watching something online by somebody else. Okay, so you got a choice between reading, watching videos on YouTube, but there's something out there that will help you. Of course, my favorite book they have up top, which is Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. If you read it already, go back and read it again. Okay, I've had that book, since about 1980 when I got into direct marketing. I've had that book. And actually I've had different copies of them. In fact, I saw somebody online and they had one as big as, a family Bible. I said, I want to get that one too to see what's in there. Now, the last one, I want you to get that one. It's very important. Remember me talking about the 5, your circle of influence is 5, and then their circle of influence is 5. In other words, or your mastermind group should be 5. Teach your people that they need to have a mastermind group of 5. That's where that came from. Jeff Olson is the author's name. You got to read it. It's a very thin paperback, but it's fantastic. It's a mind opener for you. Okay. You can't get yourself out of a problem with the same thinking that got you there. I think we all know that. We haven't talked about sponsoring yet because you need to become who you want to sponsor. Ooh, that's heavy. I always tell people, look in the mirror, look at yourself, and ask yourself, would you join you in business? And that will tell you what type of sponsor that you are, okay, or if you're ready. And that might have been, no, I thought it was over. This one, I think this is the last one, of course. We've heard this one, and we practice this a lot, becoming a good inviter. I've noticed that a lot of people will not use the scripts in the back office that we have there for them to invite, okay? It says, what's the highest paid skill in this business? Being a good inviter. Now, that inviter means inviting to Millionaire Morning, inviting to our live webinars at night, inviting to, conventions. Always be inviting. The better you get at inviting, the more money that you're going to make, okay? Step 9, learn the business. This one is heavy. And you see this, or you will see it if you're in business long enough, that you will bring people on board. You show them where all the information is, and they'll keep coming to you for questions, asking you, where's this? Or where's this? Or what's that over there? You know, I always tell people when they join the business with me, one of the first things I want you to do, I want you to go in the back office and push every button that's in the back office. And whatever you find behind there, you read it, you study it, okay? Because one day you're gonna need what's behind that particular button. That's very important, is your back office. Since we're going to spend $1 million in the business, you better believe you're going to learn. And just think about this. Anybody who knows the amount of money it takes to start a McDonald's, okay, and we're talking millions of dollars, then that's the way you should treat this business, because it will pay you $1 million a year if you do the things that you need to do to get to that $1 million. Okay, I believe that was the last page. No, wow, I don't know my own lessons, do I? Okay, be a leader. You know, actually everything we've talked about is the basis of being a leader. So how do you find leaders? Leaders don't need to be reminded to go to meetings. Leaders don't miss meetings. Does that sound like Shauna Lisa or what? Okay. Leaders are those sending the text to remind about training. Leaders volunteers to stand up at the meetings and talk. People who step up and take this business serious are leaders. If you're succeeding in business or unsuccessful, it's your fault, not your upline, not your downline. And like I said, I look on my timeline, I did something about if you fail, it's not your leader's fault. That's an awesome training I did, and I pray you got something out of it. Golden rule, don't reinvent the wheel, okay? And I see people trying to do this. We've got everything there for you. You just have to follow it. You either follow what's in the back office. If you haven't not a paid member yet, you follow what's in the files. Just follow it. It works. Trust me, it does work, okay? People are going to fight the system and say, my friends don't react to that. Yes, they do, okay? It's you. It's what you're putting in self telling you. You're telling yourself that what's been proven does not work. Like the 10K blueprint. Dominic and her husband went out and proved it before they made it a part of the business. So why would we not follow it? It already works, okay? If you work the system, your team will work the system. This is how millionaires are made, standing on the shoulders of giants. Work this business correctly, work the system. It says it more than once. Work the business consistently. Consistent and persistent will make you successful. Don't talk to one person this week, then 10 next week. You got to be consistent. We're supposed to be reaching out to at least 30 a day, right? Okay. The saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, not 7 apples on Sunday. Work the business long enough. If it took you 6 years to create a 6-figure residual income, would it be worth it? Whoa, guess what? I just ran out of words. All right. Okay, I pray that you got something out of that. Uh-oh, what happened there? There I am. Okay, I'm back. All right. Again, I'm gonna have to apologize for the mic situation, but I know what I did wrong. I set up a webinar and not a meeting. Next time I will use my, I get the opportunity to do this, I will do my meeting one, okay? So hopefully Shauna will be well enough to be back tomorrow, okay? And if not, then she'll give me some instructions on what to do from there, and I'll gladly be able to do for you. What I want to do, I've got a 5-minute motivational video, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this. Is there any questions anybody got? Just type them in the chat, and I'll go over them after this quick video. Okay.
Your brain is like a circuit switch. Once you believe you are something, you actually embody it. You embody that feeling. If you were, God forbid, in a coma, and you woke up, and you didn't really have a memory, and you were told that you used to be a Navy SEAL, and they want you back now when you're healthy, do you?
Oh, come on, please. Don't do that to me.
You think you'd act differently and hold yourself? Your brain is like a circuit switch. Once you believe you are something, you actually embody it. You embody that feeling. If you were, God forbid, in a coma, and you woke up and you didn't really have a memory, and you were told that you used to be a Navy SEAL, and they want you back now when you're healthy, do you think you'd act differently and hold yourself differently, conduct yourself different, and have a different self-concept of who you are than if you were told you were a piano instructor? Being successful in life is all about having the proper belief system in who you are. truly believing that you are something unique, that you are something special in that field. If you truly believe inside of you that you are one of the best actors in the world, you will be entirely different than if you're like, I hope I'm good. Your expressions will be totally different, your tone of voice. You'll talk in a more convincing fashion. You'll use your natural voice instead of a scripted one. You'll be more emphatic. You'll be more real, more relatable. Our brain is like a circuit. And so if we introduce it with the proper wiring, you're going to go straight to your target. If you're unsure about who you are, then your dreams, your goals, they will never become a reality. Everyone has mental doubts in life, internal conflicts. Even the most successful people that you look up to. But they don't live there. It's how you handle those negative thoughts in that exact moment and overwhelm them with positive action. And that comes with this utmost confidence in yourself that you can handle the situation. Trust in yourself that you are better than the moment.
The greats think differently. The greats see differently, right? The greats have a different worldview. The greats, they approach the game in a totally different way. So I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to think about what you're thinking about when your effort is low. Because if you can get this, you can get any success you want in life. You can have anything you want in life if you can get this. The next time you give a low effort, right? You give it 70% or 50% or 30%. I want you to think about what you're thinking about when your effort is low. If your effort is low, you're probably not thinking about the opportunity. You're probably thinking about the obligation. And when you think about E.T., how you stay pumped up? E.T.'s how you stay on fire. E.T., how you always driven, even in the midst of trials and tribulations, even in the midst of your haters, when people try to break you and tear you down. E.T., how you stay strong. I keep thinking about the opportunity. Every single day, I'm thinking about the opportunity, and I'm not looking at this thing as an obligation. I'm not looking at this thing as something that I have to do, or that I'm forced to do, right? Something that somebody's making me do. Every time I wake up, I'm thinking, I'm alive, baby. This is the day. This is an opportunity. If you want what you've never had before, if you want to do what you've never done before, if you want to be what you've never been before, change your mentality. And I want you to see that effort goes up when you look at it as, I got an opportunity of a lifetime. But you should be excited about the fact that you have an opportunity.
All right, I'm still here. I'm going anywhere. All right, I want to thank everybody for attending. Any questions before I go? Any questions before I go? No questions? Okay. As of the moment, I have no idea as to whether we're going to have a presentation tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sure Sean Lisa will put up an announcement. I see somebody with their hand up in the air. Mr. Jaga. How can I help you, Mr. Jaga? Did you have a question? All right. I just unmuted you. Did you have a question, Mr. Jaga? Or Miss Jaga? I can't tell. No questions? Okay, guys. I'm going to make this one a wrap. Wait a minute. What is this down here? I see something that says Q&A. What is that? Mr. Jocker says he has a question. What's your question? Hello? Okay. My advice is to get back to the person that invited you. Okay. And they'll probably be able to answer your questions for you then. Fair enough? All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this one. And like I said, there'll be more announcements in the room to let you know what's going on. All right, y'all have an awesome, prosperous day. God bless.
God bless.